How has your lifestyle changed?
It's changed for the better. But I have to tell you, the hours that we put in, there are a lot of hours that we put in. We're looking at things sometimes 7:30 in the morning, no later than 8, gathering information. But we have the freedom here to stop and just take a break and look out the window. And it reduces your stress level, it focuses you, it gives you a break to go on and move it. So I feel so much better here, even though I'm sure I'm working more hours.
Do you miss the hustle and bustle of New York City?
Oh, sure. I love New York too, don't get me wrong. I love New York. Every now and then I got to go get my taste of New York, absolutely.
It's so ingrained in me when I go back, it's like I never left. It doesn't feel any different. I recognize it, but there is a different amount of stress, a different amount but Sheila mentioned looking out a window here, you look across the mountains, or you look, it's peaceful, it's calming. Out of the office window, depending on which side of the building we're on in New York, one side you're overlooking the skating rink, the other side there's a glass building and the reflection of St. Patrick's Cathedral. But it doesn't have that same feel. It's pretty, it's nice, it's a pretty scene. It's like, okay, that's good, back to work. It's an entirely different feel to it. I think we're more productive when you're not on that constant go, go, go. I believe biochemically it's better for your body. You do function better. You can think clearer, but there's a difference in that regard. Physiologically, you respond differently. When you respond differently physiologically, you mentally will be a little bit better off. It's nice to be able to function at a higher level. That's the way I feel about it. So, no, I like New York. I love New York. I still have family in New York. When I go back, as I say, it's like I never left, and it's fun. There are a lot of great things to do, but it's a different energy level that just lets you kind of be a little bit more calm, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more, I almost want to say, deliberate in being outside the city.
You're happy?
I'm happy. Oh yes, I was the one that was concerned about whether or not I was going to be able to make that transition. I'm delighted with it. It's just a lovely place to be.
Describe where you live. How do you describe it? Who picked the site for the house?
That was a joint decision. This was the very first lot we looked at. What I said to the guy who was showing it to us, I said, this is kind of steep, isn't it, here in the mountain? He said, not for Asheville. We looked that day at 10 or 12 more lots. We went to dinner, and they said, let's go back and look at that first one again. It was probably just about sunset when we came up. And this is a ridge road between two valleys. We came up, we looked, and off in the valleys you could see the lights coming up. It was like, I don't know, little fairies or pixies as the lights came on. It was just gorgeous. It's about 1,500 feet higher than Asheville itself. They're looking at the two valleys on the two sides of the Mountain Ridge Road. You can have two different weather systems, and they're not a mile apart. One is sunny and beautiful. The other one can be pouring rain. Every day is different. It is just, it's kind of like almost like a Disney creation of some sort. Sometimes it doesn't look real. We just live in the middle of it. It's fun. It's nice. It's comfortable.
When you look out the windows, how far can you see?
On a good day, you can see it's Mount Pisgah, which is probably, 25 miles from here? Wow. And on a really good day, you can make out the television antenna that sits on it, and off to the right is Cold Mountain. It's something about it that just feels good. As I say, it has a very calming, it kind of keeps you in your place and takes out some of the thoughts that may get in otherwise and disturb your ability to think critically. It just pushes them aside.
Much less stress, right?
What's interesting about that is that you can have the same event, let's say 18 inches of snow falling in Manhattan, how it would happen, and the snow becomes very dirty. Look, I mean, like how many days has gone by since we had a snowstorm, and you still see snow, and it's beautiful.
Keep in mind, too, when we were living in northern Jersey, we lived in Cliffside Park on the site that used to be Palisades Amusement Park. The distance from there into our office, this is at Morgan Stanley or after we had gone independent in our own office, the distance was maybe in a straight line, 5 miles. During the summer, people were away. We could get in about 45 to 50 minutes. Labor Day, it went back to an hour and a half or 2 hours. that's a large chunk of your day going two ways that you're really not very productive. If you're in traffic, you're dealing with the traffic. You're not thinking, you're not, yeah, this is a lot less stress.
Do you wake up in the morning and pinch yourself as to where you're living?
Oh, I definitely do that all the time. There are times when the dogs will wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. They want to go out, and I'll just sit there and stare at all the lights that are there, and how many more lights there are now than when we first came here, and just think about how blessed we are to live in a place that just from the existence of it, you feel good about everything that you do.
And there you are, the amazing story of Rich and Sheila Jamison, their firm, the Jamison Financial Group, and their remarkably stress-free lifestyle here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting for CUTV News from Asheville, North Carolina.